Mr. Speaker, it is an honour to stand before you tonight in a place where so many before us have helped shape the course of our state's story. This chamber is more than walls and seats. It is where the past meets the present to shape the future. Yet, if we consider the grand sweep of time, our presence here is fleeting. Writer Tim Urban paints a striking picture of human history, showing all of it as an 800-page book, with each page representing 250 years. If we're fortunate enough tonight to reach the average Australian life expectancy, our entire existence fits into just 1/3 of each page, of a single page in that vast book. That means, at best, we will get to write a few words of New South Wales history. I want to make those words count, and count especially for those who have elected me to serve. The people of Epping are the reason that I am here today. They have put their trust in me to serve in this place that makes the laws that shape their lives. The seat of Epping was created in 1999 and first represented by Andrew Tink. Like many electorates, Epping's true character can be obscured by being named after only one of its suburbs. Yet, Epping is an electorate where its suburbs are as different as they are the same. It has rail, metro, and now light rail that connects to CBDs and beyond. It has town centres and village shops. It has some of the best schools in the state. It has bushland and parkland, heritage and history. Epping is a community of families, a community of many cultures, a community of small business and hard work. It is an electorate of aspiration, where families like mine live in the hope that their children will have a better life than they do. There are many people from the community in the gallery tonight, and I thank them for the faith that they have placed in me. I myself am a product of Epping. I grew up in West Pennant Hills. I was educated in Cherrybrook, where I made friends with girls, now women, who remain my friends today, and some of them are here tonight. I can't tell you a story of hard luck that has motivated my political journey, because I actually have a good luck story. The privilege I had growing up was not money or education or status. Instead, it was having two parents who were married and who gave me a loving home. They gave me the upbringing that all Australians aspire to give their children. Yet, this did not happen by happy coincidence. It was a product of my parents' hard work and their choices. They had the freedom to choose schools that reflected their values, the ability to practice their faith and be part of a community, the means to provide the care that many parents are no longer able to, and the opportunity to demonstrate that working was both a responsibility and a way to make a contribution. I want these choices and freedoms and opportunities for others. I want everyone to have their Damien and Diane Tudehope. My dad, of course, is here tonight. He also works here.
Order.
It brings great joy to our family that Dad was able to enter politics later in life, after spending many years supporting his family running a small legal practice. In fact, my election marks the first time that a father and daughter have served together at the same time in any parliament in Australia. Yeah. I have already spent many years working with Dad here in New South Wales Parliament. He as a backbencher, me as a staff member to the Treasurer and Premier. Even if I spend many more years in this place, I doubt anything will have a greater impact on me than watching Dad debate long into the night on the assisted dying bill. In the face of significant opposition and personal attack, he stood up and debated amendment after amendment with an intellectual depth and a sensitivity for the topic of the bill. It was a demonstration of decency, social justice and democracy at its best. He rose above the derision from the opposition, thinking only of what he thought was best for our society. I have been truly overwhelmed by the number of Epping residents that tell me they fondly remember Dad, or they can still remember a time that he has helped them. I can only hope that I may emulate his commitment to public service, his integrity, and his good standing that he has in this place. My mum and 7 of my 9 siblings are also able to be here tonight, at least the 7 that vote Liberal. There is something very special about being from a big family. There is always lots of love to go around, but also large doses of humility and character building. Perfect training conditions for election campaigns. My siblings and I would not be the people that we are without my mum. My mum was born in Tambar Springs, in regional New South Wales, to Jack and Joan. They worked hard to support their 5 children. My mum often tells us that she didn't have birthday parties growing up and that her Christmas tree was just a branch from the garden. We laugh at these references, they have come up so often, but they hide a very real story of female empowerment that does not get acknowledged often enough. Mum excelled in boarding school, and after achieving an outstanding Year 12 result, she moved from the country to Sydney to study dentistry at Sydney University. She then started work at a dental practice at Pennant Hills. Mum could have propelled this story forward to great professional success, but she made a choice for her family, that she would dedicate herself to them, and so she left dentistry for motherhood. Some of you may recall that Dad cried when he got to the point in his maiden speech where he spoke of my mum. She has that effect on all of us. Her love and service to our family is unmatched and continues today for her grandchildren. I am grateful for the advice that she gives me as I navigate being a new mum to my own girls, Alice and Grace. I deeply understand, and so do many of those in my electorate, the immense weight and constant responsibility that comes from the unrelenting burden of being a parent. I commit that in my time here, ordinary people raising a family in whatever way they view best for their children remains firmly in our focus. Now, I'm going to resist the innate temptation of every Liberal politician to have ever given a maiden speech to tick the box of the forgotten people. I'm not sure I fit the mould of a Robert Menzies Liberal politician. My career has almost entirely been in government. My family's political traditions started in the Labor Party. However, like Robert Menzies, I am here out of a deep sense of public service to the people. But it matters what this public service looks like, because government is about choices, and those choices shape our society. For me, the best choices are those framed by the values of the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party that was created to protect freedoms and promote personal responsibility, to ensure government respects the liberty of the individual, to encourage personal accountability, to prefer private enterprise and innovation over government subsidy. My commitment is to these values. I want to see taxes low and small businesses thrive. I don't think the government can or should solve every problem, but I do think families and communities need to be supported so they can provide the care that every person deserves. I will fight to ensure that Epping gets the services, investment and support our families deserve. Good schools, better transport, quality healthcare. I've already spent years in the trenches of policy and politics. And one thing is clear to me. Good policy leads to good politics, not the other way around. I have seen scare campaigns that get front pages but cheat the people of New South Wales of good reform. Our people deserve the best, but politics only seems to be able to offer them frustratingly small increments of progress. Our state's potential is enormous, but we're selling ourselves short with timid changes when we need bold action. There has been no comprehensive tax reform in this state since a Prime Minister forced states to remove stamp duties way back in the year 2000. Our transport system has just been updated for the 20th century, but we are already in the 21st. New mothers are given thick physical books to track their baby's milestones when most of us don't even carry wallets. I know we can do better because I have worked for governments that did do better. I am proud to have worked for a government that had the vision to be able to conceive, finance and deliver on a brand new metro network that has transformed this city, and I will remain committed to delivering this for the families and workers of Western Sydney. I am also proud to have worked for a Premier that made the first steps towards removing one of the worst scourges on our society, pokie machines. Australia has the worst gambling losses in the world. When Australians lose their savings, they lose more than money. They lose the ability to care for themselves and their families. This isn't just a social crisis, it's an economic one too. Today, I pledge to you that I will never be a politician beholden to this money-making mirage. We are entering an era of TikTok politics, where we assume that voters only have the bandwidth for a 30-second policy soundbite. I want to be an MP that can persuade people that good policy comes from thinking in the long term. And my commitment to these people is to always put them first. And so, here are 3 reforms that I believe we need in New South Wales. And you're going to have to wait for them. Just one sec. We have to put families first and give them a stake in our future. As we see population shrink all over the world, families diminish and communities evaporate, it is little wonder that we debate the future of Western democracies. Governments are spending more than ever on schemes trying to get people to have children, but birth rates remain in decline. Yet, we have built an economy on the assumption that 2 parents will work full-time, creating a false sense of choice for families. Those who say women should revert to staying home and raising children are naive to the cost of living pressures and failing to acknowledge that even if they wanted to, this is not an option for many. Those who say the solution is women having children and racing back to the workforce as fast as possible are failing to ask women if this is the motherhood they wanted. We're forcing families to choose between 2 impossible options and calling it freedom. By throwing money at women, we've reduced motherhood to an economic equation, and in doing so, we only further entrench women and motherhood as an economic problem to be solved. Perhaps we need to stop treating parenthood as a line item in the budget and instead start celebrating its cultural and societal importance. The best way we do this is by supporting families, not tokenistically, but with genuine policies that meet their needs, support their right to choose, and improve their quality of life. And that starts with home ownership. And then it has to be about creating jobs that support real choices about childcare for families. But I propose that we go further and we give families a stake in New South Wales by giving them a share of the New South Wales Generations Fund. I am proud to have worked on creating a sovereign wealth fund for New South Wales. This fund was created to use New South Wales's resources to future-proof New South Wales budgets and started with proceeds from asset recycling. And so we should invest our resources for future generations. The math is simple. Investing just 10% of stamp duty revenue into the fund with a modest 4% growth would create $21 billion by 2040, a payment of around $8,000 for every family with children in New South Wales. Families could use these funds to help with the cost of education and skilling in a rapidly changing world where tomorrow's jobs will be transformed by AI. Families make choices all the time to invest in their children, and we should invest in them, turning our state's wealth into your family's opportunity. Secondly, We have to fix the way state governments work. This means we have to become less addicted to the size of the funding and the number of people employed to deliver it. Our core services, like health and education, have become trapped in a cycle of funding announcements, addictions for the politicians who make them. Record funding hasn't improved student outcomes. Record health spending hasn't created an innovative, responsive system. Why? Because we're measuring the wrong things. As Charlie Munger said, "Show me the incentive and I will show you the outcomes." Well, the incentives in New South Wales are drops to the newspaper, photo opportunities with cute babies, and grabs on the evening news. And the result is more money for no change. There's no reward for genuine reform, no push for better service delivery. We have come to expect states to deliver the best possible services, but are far too removed from the way in which those services are paid for. John Howard's tax proposal from 40 years ago still remains relevant today. Give 5% of income tax to the states. This isn't just about money, it's about accountability. Direct state income tax would create a clear link between taxes paid and services delivered. No more Byzantine funding agreements that only bureaucrats understand. States could slash inefficient taxes, compete for excellence, and have real incentives to grow their economies and create jobs. This isn't radical, it's rational. We need to connect the money to the results and reward achievements, not announcements. Lastly, we have to get rid of bad taxes. I previously worked for a treasurer and premier that started on addressing one of the more difficult challenges in our state, getting rid of stamp duty. Today, I promise to finish what we started, to do everything I can in Parliament to remove this costly tax for good and open the door to home ownership for more families. First, by extending to downsizers the choice of an annual property tax instead of stamp duty. Too many retirees are stuck in homes too big for their needs, while growing families are squeezed into apartments. We need to unlock policies that match the right homes with the right families, adapting to their needs. Let's be honest about what's at stake here if we don't get this right. Already, many young people face a future where they will pay more income tax than ever before. Their chance of owning a home has never been more out of reach. Their salaries can never hope to service the mortgages they need, and they face making family planning choices their parents never had to make. Younger people don't want generational warfare. They just want to know that we have a plan and that we have the courage and conviction to execute it. Finally, there are many people that I want to acknowledge and thank today, none more so than my husband, Tim. Tim's love makes all this possible, not only because of the role that he plays in our family, but because he has done everything that I have asked of him.
Happy life. Smart man. Happy life.
He has moved back to Sydney, started a family, taken paternity leave, worked part-time, and taken out the bins. My children were too busy to be here tonight, but they know that I love them. I'm here today to make their future better. To my brothers and sisters, I love you and may you always keep me humble. I would like to thank my in-laws, Sally and David, who by marriage are now bound to campaign every pre-poll week for as long as they are able. There are many people that helped me get here today. I would like to acknowledge Ross Barwick and the rest of the Epping SEC.
Yeah.
I am lucky to have some of the most dedicated Liberal members in the state. I would like to mention everyone that worked on my campaign, but there are a few whose contributions must be noted. Clayton, David, Sue, Luke, JP, Tim, Jenny, Georgina, and many more for whom I am forever grateful. I would especially like to thank those people that were early believers in me, Charlotte and Angus, Alex, Dallas. Without your ongoing encouragement, I would not be here today. And I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Dom Perrottet. I believe that Dom was one of the best premiers that we had in New South Wales. And with more time, he would have continued to transform his state. He was a great boss and is a better friend. I am grateful for the faith that he has in me. To finish off, I want to tell you about 3 of my cousins. The 4 of us were all born in the same year. My cousin Mary, who runs a very successful family business with her husband, all while balancing the needs of her family. One of her sons, Charlie, is often in and out of hospital, and yet Mary is now also doing her masters. I have never met a woman with greater strength. My cousin Tim, an advocate for policy change. Tim and I will not always agree on his advocacy, but I respect that he has the courage to put his voice to an issue and to work within democratic institutions to bring about change. And finally, my cousin Beth, who last year passed away at the age of 38 from bowel cancer, one of the many young people under 40 to be taken too early by cancer. Beth has made a great impact in the time with us, not least of which was her daughter Belle, who is the same age as my daughter Alice. She has left a devastating hole in the lives of her family and friends. Through their lives, through their families, through their small businesses, and through their actions, they represent the people that I want to fight for in my time here. I would like to dedicate my speech to them, to the impact that they have made and will continue to make. Before I sit down, I want to send a message to myself so that I may be accountable to my own values. I hope to serve with courage and conviction. I hope I avoid the politics of least resistance. I will work every day to deliver for the people of Epping. And I hope that when my time is done here, I will have left New South Wales and Epping a better place. Yeah.